my god, guys. I have eyebrows again. I know. And my hair is dark again. So we've upgraded. I realized, I looked back and I forgot that I had bleached my eyebrows. And I've been saving Reddit posts for me to, you know, read on here, and realized I never did that. After like a couple of months, life got crazy. You know how school is, single motherhood.
Every day I wake up.
All that jazz. But you look great. I bet you've been busy. I bet you've been, you know, bossing it up, being great, being beautiful, and making all the money and manifesting and just living your best life. And I'm proud of you. Now, let's be messy and read some Reddit. Cue the intro. It's a Saturday night and I don't have my child with me tonight. She's being babysat. So I decided to get messy and read other people's lives. So let's all have an espresso martini or a water or a Monster or a warm tea. Let's sip the warm tea. Okay. I, 21 male, just caught my girlfriend, 20 female, texting topless photos of herself to friends. Grab your popcorn because I can tell this one's gonna be messy. My girlfriend and I have been dating for just over a year now. She wanted to get her pierced for a while now, and a few weeks ago she went through with it. She talked about this pretty openly with a lot of her friends, which seemed kind of strange to me, but it's not really my business what she talks about, so I didn't really care. A couple of days ago, I happened to be looking over her shoulder as she was texting one of her friends, and I saw that she was texting a topless photo of herself. Oh. I confronted her about this, and she told me she was showing them her new piercings. See, that's what I thought. And maybe they're girls. Which I don't know. Like, well, we'll just read. I got pretty angry and asked her how many times she'd done this, and she showed me her recent texts. So she's not hiding anything. I tend to be on her side when it comes to this. Oh, no. From what I could tell, she sent photos to 5 guys and 6 girls. Oh. She was really proud. I basically flipped out and asked her why the hell she thought I would be okay with that, and she said it was totally non-sexual and she didn't see why it was a big deal. We fought about it for a few minutes and she apologized, but didn't even seem to realize why I was so upset. What should I do here? Am I right to be upset about this? If you all have made boundaries about it, then yeah, I would say, regardless of the gender, what I've done for work, I don't, you know, I can't judge. I feel like she made a lapse in judgment. Maybe she's really proud of them. You know, she had a good set of, you know, of It would be one thing if it was just her female friends, which the thought that 5 other guys had just seen my girlfriend's honkers have photos of her to add to their personal spank bank seriously bothers me. I know some of these guys, and the thought that they've all seen my girlfriend in such an intimate way really pisses me off. Yeah, that, because if the shoe was on the other foot, or if the nipple was on the other, if the piercing was on the other nipple, then, you know, she probably wouldn't like. I wouldn't like if my partner was sending solicited pictures to someone else. So I don't know. they weren't even just pics of her. They were full body pics of her topless, wearing just sweatpants with her face in full view. Oh, because whenever I was picturing it, I thought it was just like them. And be like, oh my gosh, look, like, do they look good? Are they healing well? Whatever. Just I don't know if any guy, any straight man I know would know unless they're like a piercer themselves. She basically offered to show them without them even having to ask, which makes it even worse. In my opinion, I don't really know what to do here. Yeah, she's really excited about them. TLDR, I just called my girlfriend sending topless pictures of herself to several friends. I don't know what to do. Edit, reposted because the original relationship story got derailed into flame war and was removed. I can only imagine. Okay. The top comment, anecdotal experiences here. I've had 2 girlfriends get theirs pierced. One of them didn't show anyone that I can remember, and the other showed a lot of people. Okay, because I was gonna say I don't have mine pierced, so I don't know. I have this pierced, which is on my face, so, but no judgment. I was a bit closer to your age, OP, because he was like 20, I think. When girl number 1 got hers done, I probably wouldn't have been thrilled if she was showing that her to everyone. But I grew a little older, and by the time girl number 2 was showing off her shiny new rings, it didn't bother me. I think a lot of it has to do with self-confidence and jealousy. As I grew older, so did my confidence and sense of self. She wasn't sleeping with every person she showed her to, and she was with me at the end of the night. Honestly, if I was in her position, I probably would have done the same. I think you should do a little self-reflection and try to understand why this makes you so uncomfortable. I'm not saying you're wrong to feel the way you do, but you might learn something about yourself if you really sit and think about it. I think that's a beautiful response to that. That's the reason why it's top comment. Update. Okay. 6 days later. After taking a day to think about it, I decided to talk to her like a lot of people were suggesting. I brought up that I was really angry about what she did and it violated my personal boundaries. She asked what the problem was, and I told her that I wasn't comfortable with her sending those kinds of pictures to other guys while we were dating. Yeah, so that's good. A lot of these problems can be fixed by just talking. Just talking it out. Communication is like the best thing ever when it comes to, yeah, like, I know it feels better to ask for the third party such as the internet, but like you said, it can be a flame war. She said I had nothing to worry about and it was totally non-sexual. I was getting pretty angry at that point. I just told her even if she really felt that way, it was still a serious problem for me. Okay, if she's insisting that it's not sexual and you are saying that it is, like, you can't say what someone else's intentions are. So I'm a little bit on her side and the top commenter side. She asked me why I was so obsessed with this, and I kind of flipped out and told her to knock it off or we were done. Oh, did she keep doing it? She asked me to calm down and still didn't seem to understand why I was so upset. I was getting really annoyed that she kept expecting me to explain something this obvious, so I just broke up with her right there. Yeah, it feels like there's a compatibility issue going on. She seemed a little upset and asked if I was sure and said it was a pretty dumb thing to break up over. I said I was sure and walked away. I think I made the right decision. I tried a couple times, but she really didn't seem to give any F's, so walking away was the best choice I had. There are a million other girls out there who aren't crazy. I'm not a fan of how he refers to her as a crazy. Sorry, something's like itching my back and I'm scared it's like a bug or something, and I'm just so paranoid. Okay, I think it's just I'm not used to having the long weave. Okay. Not a big fan of the calling her crazy. Not cool. So I said on the other side, if some girl sent photos to my boyfriend, I would not be happy either. I don't know any women who would say it's not a big deal, those aren't sexual. I don't care if someone was sending that to their male. So yeah, so I understand that too. I think it's just for the best that they aren't together. I don't I don't think it's kind of fair calling her crazy. I just think they just did Nashville. I think I'm very much on like the top commenter side when it comes to it. So yeah. So now on to the next of best of Redditor updates. This one is, am I the scallywag for not wanting to cuddle in order to sleep with my partner? Off rip, no, because I'm the exact same way. I'm very hot when I sleep. I just don't like being touched when I sleep. I'm very like I starfish in the bed. I'm used to being like single for so long, so I feel like if I get married, I would be like, I want my own bedroom, you can have your own bedroom, like that type of vibe. So I may be a little biased when it comes to this one. I, female 21, and my partner, male 21, have been now living together for about 6 months. Oh, they're young. So my partner likes to sleep cuddled up to someone. However, I do not. This isn't an issue that just happened to occur in my life. I've always had an issue with people in my personal space while wanting to sleep. I do not mind having someone near me or next to me while sleeping. It's the hugging and cuddling part that annoys me. I've always made my feelings on things pretty clear, as I like telling things in a rather direct way. Snaps for you, queen. Snaps for you. We love direct communication. The first few nights we officially started living together, I wouldn't mind it. We would sleep cuddled up and everything fine, but it started to become much or too much after the first week or two. I consider myself a very direct person when it comes to issues I might have with someone. Well, you're on Reddit, but or even just things that I as a person don't like to do or be done. Okay, so from the very beginning, it started to bother me cuddling to sleep. I let my partner know I couldn't sleep comfortably like that. It seemed to rather shake things up for our relationship. My partner would take it in a different direction than what it was. For instance, I tell him I don't want to sleep hugging tonight, and for some odd reason, his mind would process that into a whole different conversation. Red flag. Run. I don't like that. He'd say things like, "You don't love me anymore." Oh, very big red flag. Biggest red flag. You just prefer to be alone. I would look at him and be like, that has nothing to do with me not wanting to cuddle, and that's when arguments appeared. My partner would go on and on about how he has struggled throughout his life, and that he finally has a home and family, and that he does his very best for us and makes an effort. I never once stated that he didn't. I tried explaining to him that I would never minimize all he had done or helped me with in our relationship, and that I'm grateful for everything. It's just the sleeping cuddled up that I have issues with. That every time I bring it up, a new argument starts. It's really starting to make me tired of trying to set that boundary with him, since every time I try to talk about it, he continues to make it into an argument. So, ... Oh, the other night, we finally went to bed and he wanted to cuddle again. I told him, please fix yourself into your own spot. I want to be in mine. Okay, queen. He didn't seem to care, as he still moved me to cuddle. So I don't like that. If someone says don't touch me, don't touch them. So I proceeded with, can you move out of my space and stay in yours? God, I really do wish I didn't say anything. After that, he made it into an argument once again. I feel like people need to respect people's boundaries if they don't want to be touched. Call me crazy. Mind you, I was already pretty tired from being sick and barely getting out of the hospital. You were in the hospital? Yeah, no, don't touch me. I need to rest. He went ahead and stated, I'm tired of you always moving me when I want to be near you. You're acting like I bother you. To which I respond, it's not that you bother me. We've had this conversation before and I made it clear I like having my own space while sleeping. And once again, I got the same response. I've had a struggled life growing up, and I just feel like you don't want me with you and that you just prefer to be alone. And every time I ask you for just one thing, you can't give it to me. I feel like if you state a boundary and someone consistently wants to like move the goalpost, it's give them an inch, they'll take a mile. So no. Like, I understand physical touch, I really do, but it's just not something I want while I'm asleep. And I don't know how else to explain it to him without arguing all the damn time. So readers, am I the a-hole for not wanting to cuddle while sleeping? I don't think so. I also think it's interesting that they say that they're direct with how they communicate, but they're online asking us for advice. I feel like that's a little ironic. And the red flags are clearly there. So this was a downvoted comment, but included for original OP's response. Y'all are incompatible, but you are ignoring his wants, but you want him to care about yours. You not wanting to be near him is a deal breaker that you haven't communicated with him because you think being nice will help him when it's making the situation worse. Also, you can't claim you are direct and then claim that you're okay with it at the beginning because you clearly never said anything then. Then OOP said, I did state that it was becoming an issue. I let him know, and I'm not wanting to be near him while we still sleep in the same bed together. I like having him near me, just not on top of me cuddling while sleeping, sad face. Well, thank you for the response. I can see where his needs is also something I should consider when it comes to sleeping patterns. I agree. I'm very similar. Like, I can share a bed. If it's a large bed, yeah. But I don't like someone on top of me, like, when I'm trying to sleep. I can't get, like, it messes up my REM. Top comment, my man is so insecure, he can't even sleep without being reassured. NTA, get 2 twin beds, Ozzy and Harriet style, or better yet, get a guy whose sleep patterns align with yours. OOP, your bed comment made me laugh a little, but we do still share the same bed. It's just once again the cuddling part while sleeping, but I do like having him near. So we have an update. It was the day after Christmas to 2025, 3 days later. Oh, that's a long one too. Okay, so it's been 3 days since I posted about me not wanting to sleep while cuddled up with my partner and how that convo brings up arguments between us. First, I'd like to clear some things up as I've been reading everyone's comments and I tried to reply to some when I first posted. I'm totally okay with physical touch. Me and my partner are always together on our free time and love spending time together. That was never the issue. I do love my partner a lot. He's my first serious relationship after I spent some time healing and making sure I was totally ready for one. And I couldn't be more happier with him by my side. Aww. See, I feel like we take the worst, we only hear a very limited part of these stories. Now for some things I didn't initially make clear in my first post is that it's my first time ever posting. When I say cuddled up in order to sleep, I literally mean he's right on me. That's just the way he cuddles. I'm 5'2" and he's 6 foot for reference. So when we lay down and he wants to sleep cuddled, I really do prefer to not have someone literally on top of me while I try to sleep. Once again, this isn't just an issue that occurred in my life as of now. It's always been this way and just the way I'm used to sleeping. I get that we all have different sleeping patterns and how cuddling can be one of his. So we talked about it and he told me that this is a new thing for him. That before he was able to just sleep, but when he's around me, he loves to just cuddle and hug. It makes him feel safe and loved. I can totally understand that. I'm not a monster, guys. I'm human too. We talked about it for a while and I told him that I love for him to feel safe and loved with me because I feel the way as well when around him. I also explained why I can't sleep the way he'd like for us to sleep. Plus they're young. They're so young. They're 21. So I forgot to take that into account. So we did compromise. I saw a comment on my other post that we could do the cuddling before sleeping once we're ready to sleep, just to sleep near each other. Perfect. That's a perfect compromise. I also saw another one that said to try to do the leg on top of one another so the feeling of cuddling isn't completely gone, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We will get in all the cuddling we can before sleeping, like maybe start a new series or watch movies before bed. That way we are cuddled up and comfy. And while sleeping, I've been intertwining my legs with his, and it's really working. We've been able to sleep fine without any issues doing this. As for the people who are telling me I don't deserve him and that I'm the AH for not wanting to cuddle with him and that I've just been an issue with physical touch, I don't know how my first post made it sound like I don't love him. But I read your comments, and although it made me feel like the AH, I guess some of you guys said it was helpful. Not because I don't love him, but because I saw it as a foreseen future that I don't want for us. Anyways, thanks to everyone who read and gave me some good advice. I was able to post and get some positive out of it. We are happy and very much love each other. Aww. In the top comments, one of them says, I'm happy you found a compromise. I'm the same way as you. Sleep is so important to me and I cannot sleep all night cuddled up. I also have a 1-year-old injury from a car accident, and at certain positions I can't sleep in anymore for long periods of time. I feel that. I have a back issue. I can't have someone on me like that. So yeah, good. I'm glad that was a happy ending. Leave it on a good note here, because the first one was, as he would say, crazy. So Reddit doesn't have to be such a bad place. I'm glad that this long post ended up on a good note. What do you guys think when it came to the first couple? Well, now I guess they're not a couple anymore, but what would you do in that situation if you caught your partner sending those types of pictures to their friends after a piercing? And how do you like to sleep? Are you a cuddler? Are you like, no, don't touch me? I feel like a lot of it has to do with like love language too, or maybe sometimes it doesn't, because I like physical touch, just not when I'm asleep. So people are interesting like that. So yeah, thank you for keeping it juicy and hanging out with me. I love you, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow, give it a thumbs up, and share if you like. It really helps the channel out. So all right, thanks, love you, bye.